What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of BookTube. I'm your host, Mr. Ahamad. Thank you so much for coming back to my classroom. It's always a pleasure to have you here, listen to me talk about books. Now today, I'm here by myself again so that I can continue something I started in season 1, Jason Reynolds' track series. Today, we're going to be talking about Patina. This is a fun book. Now, I wasn't particularly moved in the way that I was with Ghost or with Long Way Down, but this is still a lot of fun. Patina follows Patty, who is one of the girl runners on the team that we met back in the first book during Ghost. And she's good, and she has a chip on her shoulder. And what I love so much about that, typically, normally I wouldn't like anyone who's looking for a fight. That's not what Patty is. She knows how to work. She knows how to put forth her effort and to motivate herself. But when stuff hits the fan, woo boy, let me tell you, Patty is gonna go to town. There's scenes in here where she's snapping at people, and just the way that Reynolds captures this is that, she sounds like a couple of kids I know at school. She sounds like a couple of girls that I actually know run track here at my school. So it's so well written, and I can tell that either he's done a lot of research, spent a lot of time around kids. He's definitely done something to make sure that this was authentic. What I really enjoy about this book is that it's becoming very clear that the track series isn't about track at all. Track is something that these characters participate in, and by spending time with people day in and day out, by committing to something, they learn something about themselves, something that they probably didn't know before. There's this realization of self-worth, of purpose, and it's so great to read. So for Patty, unfortunately, she's a character that had to grow up too soon. Everyone can name a kid that they know who has had to grow up too soon. There are children who end up raising their younger siblings, and in that respect, they aren't an older brother or older sister anymore. They potentially become, they're that kid's mom or dad, and they're a kid raising kids, not by their decision. They have to learn how to cook, earlier than usual, or they have to go to work and give up other opportunities. They have to make decisions and sacrifices to benefit their family simply because that's how things turned out. And this book tackles that. And, Patty does a good job of juggling and managing things. And, she's a competitive kid and she's doing well in school. And, hold on. While we're on it, talking about school, there's this whole group project happening throughout the book that she has to do with these two popular girls and one other girl who's kind of weird, but she ends up becoming friends with. And it's at a charter school, and I was like, woo, man, this really sounds like a black kid in a predominantly white school. Now, I know I'm an adult and I've been reading a lot of books like this, but the thing is that I can see it in the kids that I teach, and I feel it as a black teacher in a predominantly white school. And sometimes I just need to bounce those ideas. I need justification. Sometimes my kids don't have the vocabulary to express that to me, and sometimes for me it's not that what I feel isn't legit. It's just that if I dwell on it for too long in my own head, that's just not healthy for me. I gotta get up and move on. But when I read Jason Reynolds' books or other books like this where they tackle those issues, it gives me a safe space to explore those emotions and those settings and those relationships. So, wonderful stuff, man. Now with Patina, it's a little different because, there's this whole thing where she's taking care of her younger sister. She's living with her aunt and uncle. And her mom's in the picture, but she's not healthy. And reading that stuff, it made me really sad for the students that I do have who are in similar situations. But what I love so much about this book is that, you know, Reynolds is he's never putting you in a position as a reader like, I'm gonna hit you with trauma, you're gonna be hurt, you're gonna cry, this sucks. He always finds a way to find the beauty in the struggle. So he shows that Patina is such a fleshed out character where, you know, she can be sad and cry at one moment where she's taking care of her sister and braiding her hair and she's tired, or you know, she's worried about visiting her sick mom and stuff. He can capture that and at the same time show her killing it on the track, or show her diving into her schoolwork and learning something so that she feels smarter and that she feels more confident.
And better yet, who are you today? Because who you are at 15, at 16 is whole, right? It's a whole 16-year-old, right? It's a whole 15-year-old, right? And I think we talk about teenage life as if it's like, oh, you're almost there. You're not quite whole yet, but you will be when you're 20. And when you get 20 and you're like, oh, you will be when you're like 25. Oh, wait till you get to 30, then you'll really figure out how to be a whole person. When the truth is, you're whole in every single part of every single step. And so my job is when I'm writing these characters and when I'm adding the secondary and tertiary characters to sort of figure out how to fortify the protagonist, it's all about making sure that every single character is 100%. Every single character is a whole person, which means every single character has to have struggle and every single character has to laugh, right? Every character has to cry and they have to laugh. All of them. They all have to have trouble and they all have to have triumph. I've never met a teenager who's had a hard life that was so hard that he or she did not laugh. Ever.
It's so great how he balances these characters, and you know, the way that he does that in dialogue is that's just one reason why he's one of my favorite authors. And with that said, I mean, what, am I not gonna recommend the book? Nah, man, you started track, you gotta finish this. Patina, track number 2, definitely worth a read. It is a story worth sharing. Go out and read goes first, hit this up second.